We're starting to finally see the anticipation and the want for the Xbox Series X and how hard it is to actually get it. Yes, we've seen the Xbox Series S and it's been readily available at different stores at different times and things like that, but even that sells out rather quickly. People really want the Xbox Series X, and then there's an extremely hard time getting it. And a lot of people are having a difficult notion with the idea that this console is actually very hard to obtain, and that people actually want it. And I do find that a little bit odd, just to say the least. I think that at the end of the day, we do have to say that Microsoft was able to turn things around, and everything was able to kind of change from last generation. Last generation was straight up butt kicking, good old fashioned butt kicking by PlayStation. They really came out with things that people wanted, as opposed to what Microsoft was trying to kind of force on people, and deservedly so. They ended up winning the generation, despite the fact that I think Microsoft actually had better games for years before Sony's actually got better and got to a point where they were something worthwhile. And for me personally, I just find it to be very interesting that this generation things have changed and there's a more positive attitude all around for Xbox, and not enough good things can be said about that. But this video is about something that just happened, a big announcement, and it really goes in line with to show you how far Microsoft has come and how far the Xbox has come in just a few short years. It's going to be a video you don't want to miss. Hey there everyone, I'm the Crapgamer, and this of course is Crapgamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some cool changes around here, and hopefully that doesn't stop you from at least giving us a like, and maybe even possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It really does mean a lot. Hopefully you guys are all doing good, having a fun time, enjoying yourselves, just having a great gaming day, right? So that's going to be something that I'm very excited about. So hopefully you guys know where I'm coming from with that, and hopefully you guys are excited about the future of gaming as well. Now, we know there's so many people that would, and PlayStation 5 as well, like people really want a PlayStation 5 as well. Obviously it's a hot item and people want it, but there's going to be a bit of an issue getting these consoles for probably years to come, unfortunately. And this kind of plays into that, and the popularity of what's going on, and just how hard up things are for this to actually be a thing anyway. So continued Xbox shortages are actually forcing Microsoft to use dev kits in their own Halo tournaments. So like everyone else in 2021, Microsoft is having trouble locating some new next-gen Xbox consoles. If you can believe that it's gotten that far, I can't believe they couldn't put together, the consoles to run the championships. It's so interesting. So obviously, if you've been trying to buy a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X over the past year, you know how hard it can be, and you might think Microsoft, the company that literally builds and sells Xbox consoles, would be able to get some, but even it is struggling. So for its latest Halo Infinite tournament, the HCS Kickoff Major Raleigh 2021, the company is using modified dev kits for tournament players. Yesterday, the new season of Halo Championship Series started with a $250,000 tournament featuring esport teams from Optic, G2, E United, and Cloud9. But before the tournament started, 343 esports leader Tahir announced on Twitter that some players would have to use dev kits running in retail mode. The reason: global supply chain shortages is real. And this is what he said. Heads up on the bracket players. You'll be playing this weekend on Series X development consoles. They're functionally identical and will be operating in retail, so it's the exact same experience, they just look a little different. Why? Global supply chain shortage is real. Now, according to him, the dev kits will be functionally identical, and the only real difference will be that the dev kits look different than retail Xbox consoles. Now, getting your hands on next-gen consoles continues to be a big hassle, even over a year after the machines launched, with some tech giants like Intel suggesting the chip shortage could continue to cause problems well into 2023, and scalpers continue to use bots to scoop up the few consoles that do appear online. It's very likely that in 2022 it will remain hard and frustrating to buy a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X at retail price. Scalpers reportedly made some $104 million in profits this past August alone. Now, that's according to Michael Driscoll, a data product senior associate lead at consumer finance company Avant. Even the lead actor in Deathloop needed help from Bethesda to get his hands on a PlayStation 5 console so he could actually play the game he helped create and stars in. While we've heard from some folks it has become a bit easier to buy the cheaper, less powerful Xbox Series S, the other next-gen consoles remain elusive, frustrating many who continue to hunt for the machines online. So again, this is really showing like the popularity, and a lot of people think, you know, that they artificially create the want for these consoles, which would be really silly if you think about it. I can remember hearing when I first heard about the creation of the artificial creation or the fake creation of supply versus demand. I first heard that in the Wii, around the launch of that. Like for over a year and a half, that console was pretty impossible to get. Now, I was able to get one because I camped out overnight at a Circuit City to get one, but a lot of people just basically had an impossible time picking one of those up. So we do have to kind of look at that and say, hey, you know what, it is such a weird situation that this kind of happens the way that it has happened. And why would anybody fabricate something like this when there's people actually that want it? See, the thing is, if Microsoft and Sony had more of these in stock, they would sell more. So they obviously want to sell more. We're just in a weird situation where, due to a lot of global issues thanks to the pandemic and stuff like that, that we're not able to get it. And how far does it go? Well, I was planning on having better internet by now, to be honest with you, right? Like, I've already paid for the new internet service, and it's so funny to me because Starlink, and it was supposed to come this year, and unfortunately I got the delay notice that due to global component shortages and chip shortages that they weren't able to kind of supply the people with what they originally had said. So yeah, that's a really unfortunate situation, and it's an unfortunate situation for everybody. I'm sure there's a lot of people that want new Xboxes and new PlayStations, and there's going to be probably a lot of unhappy kids under the Christmas tree tomorrow. So it's going to be very interesting, and I want to see everybody be able to get these things. I want to see everybody kind of go out there and just do the best that they can. Honestly, that's kind of just what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting there to be continued shortage and stuff like that. For me personally, I just look at it like, hey, you know what? This is a difficult thing, but I've been trying to help people find these new consoles along the way as well, because I feel like so many people want them and haven't been able to get them. So and if I can come across them, I picked a couple up and help people out at cost, not scalping prices or anything like that. So do your fellow gamers a favor. Why not? With that being said, I'll link this article. You guys can check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.